Hey coaches, Coach Michael Fields here again. If you want to get in touch with me, got my Instagram up here. It's Coach Michael Fields. I share some stuff up there most days. You can always find me on Twitter. It's Michael K Fields. Share football, sports, leadership, management stuff as well. You can always email me at coachmichaelfields@gmail.com. Love talking ball. Love talking sports. Love talking, anything that we can do to help our young athletes be better athletes, better students, better citizens. So, continuing the series this week that we've been working on, just different drills by position. This is group work. Some of this might be team drills, pod work, whatever we're calling it. Some of it's individual work when we talk tackling. So we're going to get in it today, talking O-line. Old O-line coach here, cut my teeth as a football coach, coaching O-line for about 6, 7, 8 years in a row. Worked with linemen until I was fortunate enough as a head coach, had somebody else that had been a collegiate lineman and gave them the role. So with linemen, EDDs. If you watched the series a week ago, the last series on EDDs, the everyday drills, hopefully we've already done that, right? We should do our indies and our EDDs, everyday drills. Should have done some footwork, some board or bag work. Working on, the footwork is our steps, drive step, reach step, pull step, pass drop, whatever. Board or bag work, that's some guys that just call like the duck walk drill, to where you're working that instep, hitting the heel down. I like to do it over a bag or a board to keep our feet and our stance wide. The hand fighting, hand placement work, all that stuff in our EDD should be done at this point. So, it's kind of that scaffolding idea, right? EDDs, then we get into some pod work. This is when we're going to install, at the high school level. We're probably game planning. We're like, hey, this is a tendency on this defense, so we're game planning a little bit. So we might be installing here. And so we're going to take guys and kind of break our linemen out to work on new things or different things we're working on. One thing that, we do, we are a wing tee based team. We're also kind of a spread team, a gun tee is what a lot of people would refer to us as. So we're going to do a lot of, just in our base run, a lot of times our tackles and centers are down block, and that can be first level, right at the surface, or that might be second level. They might be down blocking to a backer. So we're going to work down block with our tackles and centers. Our guards are going to work on pulls, right? Because most time guards are the ones who pull. Tackles will pull occasionally. Sometimes we'll pull a center depending on your system, depending on the athletes you have as well. So our guards, while they're working down block, tackles, and centers, our guards are probably going to work on pulling, whether that's for trap or buck sweep or toss sweep, whatever it is that we run. And then we're also going to work getting them to the second level, because generally guards are going to be uncovered if you're seeing a 3-4. If you're going against a 4-3, probably one guard, play side guard, usually is covered on his outside or head up. And so we're going to work on getting to the second level. If we're trapping with the other guard anyway, he's got to get a clean release, get to the second level. So we're going to work that. If you're a fan of Coach Simpson like I am, this might be when you're working a hurdle drill. We used to run the same idea without the hurdle, but we'd have bags out there with a coach, whether to hit or just a bag to get to a place, or a cone, just putting cones out. This is where you're pulling to, so just get them into that footwork. We'd even, if it's a wrap around, the guard's coming around, then he's leading up in the hole and sealing to the inside, we'd kind of put several cones and kind of get that path for him to get upfield and kind of just working that route that he has to run. Not a route as in passing, but that path he has to take to get to where we want him. But then, as we know in the game of football, defenders move, so that's when getting a coach or with a shield or a coach with an agility bag and just kind of moving and having him hit that moving target, so that we're working on really pulling against something live. So that's kind of that pod work. We'll also, again, a lot of times with certain screens and different plays like that, a lineman may have to go out to get a corner as we bring that receiver around him. So we might even send our tackles down after a little bit and have them work with our receivers and our backs on getting out to that block on the screen, or it could be your guards, depending on how you run your screens. These are more outside screens. These aren't your traditional dump it, let the defenders go and dump it right over the top of them. This is more of a outside kind of bubble screen type of stuff. So just getting those tackles and that timing with wide receivers and backs to go block out in space. Also, if you run like crisscross or some other version of a counter, you might put your guards with your tight ends to work pulling together, again, for that crisscross play in a wing tee, a scissors play and a power toss type system, or just any other counter to where you're going to show one thing and then, kind of reverse or run the other way. So that's some of the pod work that we're going to be doing right there. So just some ideas of drills with your linemen. Obviously, the everyday drills are important. Once we get through some of the pod work, now we're going to come back together as a team and we're going to talk about, this is Monday, Tuesday of game week for the high school level, and we're going to talk about, what is it the opponent does. This is their defensive front. We might have to switch up how we block. So then we're going to come together just with the line and we're going to talk scheme. We're going to show kind of that front seven, right, of the defense, if they're in a 3-4, 4-3, 5-2, 5-3, if there's 8 of them in the box. They walk a rover up or a strong safety down, whatever it may be. We're going to talk scheme then, right? We're going to walk through it. We're going to game plan, but we've done the work of our base stuff already from our EDDs to our group work and pod work. Then we're going to be a unit, all 5 of them, maybe even bring our tight ends over with them. Maybe they've been doing their work with receivers, running routes, catching passes. Now we're going to bring them over. And we're just going to work, hey, this is what we got to not necessarily install this week, just kind of change our blocking scheme a little bit to adjust on the team that we're playing and the defense they run and their tendencies. And, if this guy's a stud, we're going to maybe double him. If this guy, the way their linebackers flow, instead of blocking here, we're going to come outside on him, whatever it may be. So that's kind of what we're going to do after we get through all this work and getting our physical tools, sharpened for the week. Then we're going to get into that scheme and install that. And if we're still adding, early in the season, you're still adding plays, this is when we would install a new play as well, and at least walk through it. And all the different groups, when we're in an offensive practice, we'll be doing the same thing. So when we come together for team at the end, after we get done with positions and group work, then we come together as team, walk through it, then we can start running it live. So once again, thanks for watching. It's Coach Michael Fields. I appreciate everybody watching the videos. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and like the video. Share it as well. Give me some ideas if there's something else you want to see. Love to share what I've got with you guys. Thank you.